Hello there, YouTubers, and welcome to another DrCassette video. Well, I recently got a request from somebody who asked if I could make a video about how I'm making my videos. So, here we go. Here are the three high-end camcorders that I'm currently using for my videos. You can tell these are the three camcorders because now I have to use a low-quality APTEC camcorder to make this part. Anyway, in front we have a Panasonic HDC SD707, which is a very nice camcorder. However, it does not exactly fit my needs all that well, so I'm probably going to sell that rather soon. Here we had this for almost 2 years, which is kind of incredible. I went through tons and tons of camcorders, but this one always stayed. This is the Sony HDR SR11, along with a super big battery and an external microphone for good sound and a lens hood. And last but not least, we have my latest acquisition, the Sony DCR TRV900 high-end 3-chip mini DV camcorder, which it is a very good camcorder. Unfortunately, the zoom motor is rather noisy and the resolution of the video is not the best. But still, it is a pretty darn good camcorder. Also in that one, as you can see, I have a big external microphone for improved sound quality. Now, as soon as I'm done with shooting the actual video, this is where all the rest takes place. This is my desk with the Hurricane brand computer underneath of it. This is the computer with an Intel Core i7-2600 processor, 8 GB of RAM, and an ATI graphics card of some sort. And this works really well for editing videos, especially for editing high-definition videos. It really goes very fast. Really nice to use this thing. Now, around the computer, of course, I do have a bunch of other stuff. I have a Dell keyboard and a Dell mouse, both USB. I used to have a PS2 keyboard on this computer, but that, for whatever reason, caused the boot-up process to be very slow. So I decided to use that USB keyboard instead. I have a Video 7 monitor, which is getting kind of old. It's not widescreen or anything, but it still does work, and it has a really good picture. This is the audio part. I have a Sony receiver, which I'm using as an amplifier, and I have a pair of WHD miniature speakers to monitor the sound, and those really sound very good. And in case I don't want to listen to speakers, I have a pair of headphones. These are some cheap no-name brand headphones. They used to be wireless headphones, but the wireless part of them broke, so I turned them into some regular headphones with a wire. Now behind there you can see some more stuff. For making voiceovers, I have a Behringer microphone and a Behringer microphone preamplifier sitting right there. And for capturing digital video off of DV cassettes, I have a Sony DCR HC24 camcorder hooked up to the computer using FireWire, so that I can capture those videos, those videotapes, without putting any wear and tear onto the camera, onto the good camera that recorded them. So there you have all the equipment that's involved in making my videos. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the software, because the software is another very important part about the whole thing. The first step is to get the videos from the camera onto the computer. And with internal memory or SD card or hard disk drive camcorders, for that I'm just using a very standard, very boring piece of software that is called the Windows Explorer. So nothing special about that. I'm not using any of the software that camcorder producers like to give you for that purpose, such as Picture Motion Browser from Sony or whatever. Now, the video files from the camera then end up in the My Video folder, in a folder that is pretty much the only thing that remains from my old Panasonic SDR S26 camcorder. The folder called VCS. Now, the Panasonic software that came with that camcorder created a folder called VCS, and that's where it saved all the videos that when you transferred them from the camera. And since it was just convenient, so I just kept that folder, and it even made its way from the Windows XP computer onto the Windows 7 computer. So VCS is where all the files end up. And I do have a bunch of other things inside of here to kind of organize everything, and these are the files that we are going to mess around with in this video. Now, once the files are on the computer, it goes on with the video editing program. The next thing is, of course, the video editing software. Now, this computer, having Windows 7 on it, of course came with the, I believe, the Windows Live Movie Maker, but I never used that. I have a variety of different programs on here. I have Sony Vegas Movie Studio HD Platinum 11, which that was a demo version, so that probably no longer works. I have Adobe Premiere Pro CS3, which, well, most of the software I have came out of some rather dark corners of the internet. So Adobe Premiere Pro, for some reason, the support for MPEG-2 video doesn't work. It'll only accept AVI and WMV video files for whatever reason, and for AVC HD I believe this is just too old. Also, this program is rather complicated to use, so I barely ever use that. Now then I have two other programs. I have CyberLink PowerDirector version 8, which is a program I usually use. And then I have CyberLink PowerDirector 10. And once again, that came out of the internet, should I say. So now, unfortunately, version 10 CyberLink has a rather stupid online activation, and when the program fails the online activation, even if you have a serial number that works, the codecs for AVC HD and MPEG-2 don't work. So, well, that program is pretty much useless. So I'm using CyberLink PowerDirector version 8. I also briefly had Pinnacle Studio HD 14, but that program was about the slowest and most clumsiest program I ever came across. So that's no longer on here. Or actually, it used to be on the Windows XP computer. Only good thing about that was the generator for license-free music. Anyway, here we have CyberLink PowerDirector version 8 Ultra. And Ultra, that's the thing that's important, because the smaller, like Special Edition and whatnot, those editions always miss some features that I really need. So, PowerDirector, I really like this program because it is simple, straightforward, fast, and it offers all the features I need. So, now, to get mini DV tapes transferred into the computer, of course I first have to go, this is for editing, this is record. Of course I first have to select that. Since the capture cam is not turned on, it doesn't show up, I only get the input of the sound card. And funny thing to import from, I believe, DVD AVC HD camcorders, a long forgotten species. But obviously I never use that either. So, editing. Up here is the import window, and it all goes very, very simple. Just go ahead and select the folder, the files I want to import, which I can never find with Windows 7 because it always likes to put the files into different places. It's kind of stupid. Import the videos, and this computer, being a very fast one, it really is a pleasure to edit AVC HD video. This was recorded on the Sony SR11 in the highest quality mode, full HD, everything, and I don't even have to use all the workarounds like generating lower quality files for editing. you know, just to kind of help out slower computers. I have the preview window and the highest resolution it offers, so it's really fun. So just go ahead and drop that onto the timeline, and then of course, well, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Go ahead and add some transitions, and I edit out all the stuff that I don't want to have. That's another thing. When I'm recording on cameras that record files that you can access directly after recording them, what I do is I split up the video into parts, and then I'm always going and I record one part at a time, as many times as I need to get it all perfect. And what I then do is, when I'm done, when that part has been done and I'm satisfied with the result, I go ahead and delete all the other files of that part. So that's why you barely ever see any outtakes, and that's why I really don't like, well, not really, but I don't really like using tape-based camcorders, because I can't do it on there, and things never come out quite perfect. Instead, they come out very long, and requires lots and lots of editing. It's just not all too nice. File-based camcorders are just much more convenient. So now I want to go ahead and add all the transitions and do all the necessary editing. And here we are a little bit later. I cut out all the parts I didn't want it to have in the video, and I put in all my transitions and fade-ins and fade-outs, and so the video is pretty much done. There are just some final touches that need to be done. Not sure if you can really see the preview screen, but well, you might be able to kind of make out that something is missing down in that corner of the picture down there. The little DrCassette sign. Now, that is just a simple picture-in-picture affair. It's a photograph that it's a photo file, and that's a cool thing. It's a so-called PNG file, and the cool thing with PNG files is that they can actually have transparent parts in them, while the JPEG files just have to be, well, they have to have just the usual 4 sides. And what I had to do before I got a program that supported PNG files, I had to add a green background, and then using chroma key effect, I put that into the picture, which of course was a lot more complicated. And that's why I like PNG so much. For editing such pictures, I'm using a program called Paint.net. It is a freeware program, and it really can do a lot of things, so it's really a nice program, just for your information. So just go ahead and drop that into the overlay video track down there, and this piece of software can have up to 9 overlay tracks, and believe it or not, I've already used those, all of those 9 tracks in videos that I made. So that's nice to have, and that is one of the features that's missing in all the light and special editions of this program. You get only 1 or 2, I think. So just go ahead and stretch that out all through the video, from the beginning to the end. And there it is. You can kind of see it down there, and there it is, as you can see. Now, sometimes I'm also going ahead and I'm doing special stuff. It always depends basically on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like doing some video editing, some creative video editing, getting creative, and just putting in some things, special effects, all that kind of stuff, I'm just doing that. And there are, of course, a bunch of different things you can do in this program. The one thing I really don't like is that all the effects are, that's like for idiots. that just it's just drag and drop an effect onto a video, onto a piece on the timeline. But the problem is it does not only add a simple, straightforward effect. It also it fades in the effect, it fades out the effect. It adds like a frame in which the effect is very strong, and then all around the picture it's not that strong. Very, very weird, and it does take quite a bit of time to get rid of that all. So that's the one thing they could have done better. Just for example, sometimes I'm using an effect that makes the video come out blurry. And for that I always have to mess around with it, get rid of the fade in, get rid of the fade out, get rid of the frame, and so on and so forth. It's just rather stupid. So that's the one thing that I don't like. Sometimes I need to adjust the audio levels. That can be done down here, of course, or in this, which this is the mixer, basically. What else? A bunch of other stuff going on. Now, this video is pretty much done the way it is. So what I do is I go to, excuse me, I go to produce. And that takes a while. There it is, produce video. Now, here it always depends on what I'm doing. When I'm making something that's supposed to go onto a DVD, and I'm saying it's supposed to go onto a DVD because usually it never ends up there. It always kind of stays on my computer for some reason. But for that I use MPEG 2 high quality. And the important thing is, down here it always gives you a little arrow for, well, that's not an arrow. Anyway, it does give you something where it says technology for fast video rendering. You can select either SVRT, which doesn't work for this part here, or hardware video encoding. That kind of uses the GPU, the processor or the graphics card, to support the CPU, the processor, the main processor. However, what I found out, unfortunately, with this Power Director, or basically also with the version 10, it was the same. It doesn't work. For some reason, the video comes out looking a lot lower quality than it would come out without the hardware video encoding. So I usually deactivate that. Now, for video, for YouTube. For YouTube, I once tried this H.264 AVC, but the files came out bigger and the quality was not much higher than with what I'm usually doing, so I'm not doing that. What I use is the good old WMV codec, which has one big disadvantage. Widescreen videos are just put into a standard 4:3 picture, so I always have to use that little YouTube tag YT stretch equals 16:9. So that didn't happen with the H.264 AVC codec, but anyway, since aside from that it didn't have any advantages and a bigger file size, still using WMV. So now Power Director, that's the other thing that makes it kind of simple, kind of easy to use. It gives you a bunch of suggestions for what you can do, a bunch of profiles. For example, we have HD standard quality, which is 720p. That's what I used when I had some of my videos in high definition. It also has HD high quality, which is full HD, a bunch of other stuff. Well, I think like a year ago, up until a year ago, I always used Windows Media Video 9 for LAN, with 768 kilobytes per second. Now that gave me some nice and small video files that I could quickly upload, and when I'm having some excessively long videos like 1 or 2 hours, I'm still using that to kind of make the file, you know, just to kind of get a smaller file size that uploads quicker. Now, what I'm doing for YouTube most of the times now is I'm using Windows Media Video 9 DVD quality with 1,600 kilobytes per second, so more than twice as much as I had before. Quality is much, much higher, but unfortunately also the files are bigger. So what I'm doing is I usually upload my videos overnight. We're going to take a look at that in just a couple of minutes. So just go ahead and select that. Once again, important thing, deactivate the hardware video encoding because that makes things look like crap. In case you wonder, the audio stream we're getting has 256 kilobytes per second Windows Media Audio. It's stereo, 44.1 kilohertz. Video stream is 1,600 kilobytes per second, 25 frames per second progressive, and a resolution of 720 by 567. That is the standard PAL resolution. If you're on an NTSC system, that is going to be a bit lower. 25 frames per second progressive, that is important. You don't want to upload interlaced video to YouTube because they can't deinterlace that properly. So what I do is, well, after I've done everything, the important thing is to always give it a name. So I'm just going to type in something quick right here. So that we can get this done quickly. So then start encoding. And there it goes. And this is, well, and if the computer is connected to the internet, you're always getting a happy advertisement right there, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, as you can see, it's going nice and fast. Now, the video has been recorded in high definition. It is now going to be encoded as a PAL resolution video. Already said that. Now, you may say, well, why don't you use the standard definition right from the start and just go with MPEG-2? Now, what I found out is that MPEG-2 has a rather vicious compression, and even in the HQ mode, you can sometimes really tell that it's not, you know, that it has been compressed. I'm not really satisfied with MPEG-2, and the high definition gives me a higher resolution that the program can then just work with. And the final result, even though the resolution the resolution is lower, it's still looking sharper than on a standard definition right from the start setup. Another thing is this program, this is what I once tried to upgrade to PowerDirector 10 Ultra. This program right here does not have a support for 64-bit systems. It does work. This is a 64-bit system, and it just works as a you know, 32-bit program. The PowerDirector 10 has support for 64-bit, meaning it works a heckload of a lot quicker. The progress bar was just flying on there, and you might be able to see down here we are getting a good load on the processor. I should probably go ahead and just zoom in on that a little bit so that you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see we are getting a good load. Hope you can still hear me. We are getting a good load on the processor on all of the 8 cores that this is showing. However, unfortunately, it still doesn't take full advantage of the processor. The PowerDirector 10 actually got this maxed out to 100%, and as you can see, it's currently using like 77%. So that's not as good as it could be. So let's just see if it's oh, I guess it's not done yet. As you can see, it's still working, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And here we are a little bit later. As you can see, it's done rendering the video. I now have, the video is around about 8 minutes long. The file size is 106 megabytes. That really doesn't sound much nowadays, but for my silly old internet connection, that is really quite a bit. So this is one of the videos that I will have to upload overnight because it takes, well, this is going to take probably around about 3 hours to upload. So, that's it. It's now done, so I can just go ahead. I never save the project itself. Go ahead, and there it is in the My Videos folder. Now then, of course, it goes up to YouTube. I'll get into that in just a second. When it is up on YouTube, I go ahead and put this file into this folder right here, DrCassette Videos on YouTube. And in here we have, as you can see, all of the videos I've ever uploaded to YouTube. Unfortunately, also the ones I later on deleted due to copyright issues or whatever. There you can see it. Quite a load, quite a load. Can just let's see, 39 gigabytes that is right now, and that's of course only because I always have to keep an eye on getting a small file size. That's why that is still so small. Anyway, so there is that. Now, this, I like to have this all on my computer so that I can access my old videos whenever I want to. I also get all of this backed up on an external 1 terabyte hard disk drive, so that is all perfectly safe. So, now, uploading to YouTube. Usually I use the Opera web browser, which is this thing right here. Now, the unfortunate thing is that YouTube doesn't support Opera very well. So what I use is, what I use for uploading videos, and only for uploading videos, is the Mozilla Firefox. And what is that? It wants me to do something. Anyway, so, there is Firefox. Of course, I then go to YouTube, and of course, I guess you all know the way from there on. Now, of course, YouTube also supports Google Chrome very well, but I don't want to have Google Chrome. I don't want to have Google on my computer. Now this is the piece of equipment that I use to upload videos overnight. This is my trusty old 2008 Median Akoya netbook, the first one Median ever brought out. And this has Windows XP on it, and also the Mozilla Firefox. Now this being somewhat old, it does have a bit of a problem. The fan, the cooling fan, is getting rather noisy. So that's why I'm having this rather weird setup with this box underneath of it. What that does is, the netbook is basically just standing on these two side pieces, these small surfaces, and that really gives it a very good ventilation, so it doesn't have to run the cooling fan all the time. Also, I have this netbook kind of tucked away into a hidden corner of my room, so that I don't have to see all the fancy lights that this has when I'm trying to sleep, because when I want to fall asleep, there must be absolute complete darkness. Otherwise it unfortunately doesn't work. So that's that. So there you have it. This is how I'm making my videos. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and see you again soon.